It is now time for the Royal Rumble predictions. What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for our Royal Rumble predictions for this Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which is coming from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. We will have 2 Royal Rumble matches and a whole slew of title matches, 2 on the pre-show, and a couple other matches as well, if I'm correct. Is everything a championship match? I believe, no. Actually, I think everything is a championship match. That's not the Royal Rumble. Okay, so we have a bunch of title matches, which would be, there are 9 matches, 2 Rumbles, so there are 7 title matches in all. And unfortunately, again, the Cruiserweight Championship is on the pre-show, which I think is just a crying shame. Look what Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy did at the Survivor Series as the break between Raw versus SmackDown matches, and how great that match was. And then we get to the TLC pay-per-view, and they're on the pre-show again. Royal Rumble on the pre-show again, and I think that's a crime to 205 Live. How are these guys going to ever get to the heights that they can be if you just straddling them to the pre-show every single time? The Cruiserweight Championship, before we get into her predictions, should be the first match that opens every single pay-per-view. And I don't mean pre-show, I mean when it hits 7 o'clock and the pay-per-view is going to go on the air. The first thing you see after, like, welcome to the Royal Rumble, welcome to whatever pay-per-view, you hear the challenger, then the champion, or in this case, challengers, and then champion. Music hit, and we have ourselves a Cruiserweight Championship match to open every pay-per-view. I think it's a crime to these guys, and it just disrespects everything that guys like Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy, and Cedric Alexander have done, and others as well have done, to elevate the Cruiserweight Championship to where it should be, or where it is, and it's just disrespectful in my opinion. Of course, Buddy Murphy takes on Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto. These three men to face Buddy Murphy faced off in singles matches to figure out who was going to be in the Fatal 4-Way. I'm pretty sure, like, Kalisto beat Leo Rush. I can't remember who the other ones were, but obviously I'm going with Buddy Murphy on this one. I think it's not his time. Buddy Murphy's not losing that championship till we get to WrestleMania. He won it in October at the Super Showdown. He's not losing it until we get to WrestleMania. And quite honestly, I don't know who he would lose it to, except for back to Cedric Alexander. Mustafa Ali moved over to SmackDown Live. And I just don't see anybody else on the 205 Live roster who is even in Buddy Murphy's league. Hideo Itami, maybe if they were to build him up to be a credible threat to the Cedric Alexanders or anything, but there's really no babyface that I could buy beating Buddy Murphy for this championship outside of a Cedric Alexander. So Buddy Murphy is going to run away with this one. And it's probably going to be, since he is a heel, I could honestly see, like, maybe Hideo Itami, Kalisto hits the SDS, the Selena Del Sol, on Akira Tozawa or Hideo Itami. Buddy Murphy throws him into the ring post and then takes the pinfall. So Buddy Murphy will probably win this match by either clean or he'll steal the victory from somebody else who hit their finisher. The other one we have is Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going with Rusev on this one. Nakamura in the United States Championship since pretty much Jeff Hardy. The United States Championship has not done anything, and it has become a laughingstock again after John Cena lost it to Alberto Del Rio a couple years ago. And it's just floated around back and forth. I mean, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles had a pretty good feud out with it in 2017, and then AJ lost it to, I believe, Baron Corbin. And then Baron Corbin lost it to Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler said, hey, I could win this, and then dropped it on SmackDown, and they started a new tournament in which Bobby Roode won, if I'm correct. Then Bobby Roode lost it to Randy Orton? Yeah, Randy Orton. Randy Orton lost it to Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal lost it to Jeff Hardy, and then Jeff Hardy lost it to Shinsuke Nakamura. And quite honestly, none of those title reigns in this entire era have really been anything pretty much since the Kevin Owens and AJ Styles feud happened. I mean, AJ Styles' first U.S. Championship win was on a house show in Madison Square Garden. This is one of those ones that's like, what has Nakamura done to deserve this championship rematch? The rematch clauses have been antiquated, but yet we have Shinsuke Nakamura sitting here getting another title shot, and honestly, I don't think he deserves it. This one I'm going with Rusev. Quite honestly, it's on the pre-show, so why should anyone actually care? To anybody who thinks the pre-show is still part of the show, it's not. If you're on the pre-show, in my opinion, you are not good enough to be on the main card. And that's why I say it's disrespectful to the Cruiserweights, because each and every one of them should be, their title should be on the main card. I mean, let's see here. Yeah, the Tag Team Championship match, the only Tag Team Championship match on this show, The Miz and Shane McMahon versus The Bar, should be on the pre-show. Just saying, even though I know it's got Shane in it, so that's not going to happen. Everything else definitely would be on the main card, but they should find a way to get Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto on the main card, period. Alright, so we're going to look at The Bar versus Shane McMahon and The Miz, and of course we all know that Shane McMahon and The Miz have got this bond because Miz came out on Miz TV a couple weeks ago. And this all started from the Greatest Royal Rumble. Miz faked an injury. Shane came in, won the best in the world. And it's all been downhill from there. Now, like I said, I think it was on Christmas Day's taped edition of SmackDown. Miz came out and was like, my dad is a fan of Shane McMahon. My dad has no respect for me. My dad. I want my dad to respect me. Can you please team up with me, Shane McMahon? And then Shane McMahon feeling guilty because he has pretty much in the same boat with his dad, because quite honestly, it has been played up like Vince McMahon doesn't respect anything that Shane McMahon has done, either in WWE or outside of WWE. All the success that Shane has had, he wants to make his dad proud, and his dad has never shown that in any way, shape, or form. And that's how this team has come together. The Miz comes out and wheels his way into him and Shane McMahon into a title match, which they quite honestly do not deserve. What about Sanity? What about the Good Brothers? And we're going to talk about tag team wrestling this coming tomorrow on Unscripted, as there's supposedly push to revitalize tag team wrestling, in my opinions, on WWE when we talk about that tomorrow. But this entire thing started because Shane McMahon and Miz pretty much have daddy issues. So Shane McMahon and The Miz are going to win the tag team titles. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you watched SmackDown Live this past Tuesday and saw the royal beating that The Miz and Shane McMahon took, and my word, people have got it as gifs on Twitter, but when Shane McMahon when Shane McMahon gets hit with that bro kick, holy hell. That guy I'm pretty sure he had to, put ice on that jaw, because Sheamus looked like he stiffed Shane McMahon with that bro kick. He knocked him out, plain and simple. Knocked the living daylights out of him. That beatdown pretty much tells you who's going to win this match, and it's going to be The Bar. Not The Bar, but Shane McMahon and The Miz. What I would like to see, and this is something I would like to see them do, I don't think it's going to happen, but when we had the New Day, and I think it was the New Day and the Usos wrestling I think it was a tag team championship match, or a tag team match to see who would wrestle the Bludgeon Brothers at, I believe it was SummerSlam. The Bludgeon Brothers came out and destroyed everybody. They just destroyed everybody. Now, Harper and Rowan have been cleared to come back to competing. Since they haven't had, the one-on-one rematches are antiquated, so they're not matter. But they're going to probably feel like they deserve to have another shot at the tag team titles. What better way to make that statement than The Miz and Shane look like they're going to win these titles? You have Miz going for the Skull Crusher finale, and all you hear is the Bludgeon Brothers music hits. They come out and just waste everybody. No contest, and The Bar keep the championships. Miz and Shane McMahon get taken away from the tag team titles for now, where I know they're going to win the titles between now and WrestleMania, because which is supposed to lead to a WrestleMania match between these two. This whole thing between Miz and Shane McMahon is going to lead to them wrestling a match at WrestleMania. Hopefully with the Miz being heel, because Miz babyface has never worked, and it's not working now. But what I would like to do, Bludgeon Brothers come in, waste everybody, and we get between now and the Elimination Chamber a little mini feud between those guys, and then we go Fastlane and everything in between. But that's probably not going to happen. The Miz and Shane McMahon, the co-besties, the world's best tag team, is going to win the tag team titles. But again, if I had it my way, the Bludgeon Brothers would come out and waste everybody. let me know what you think down in the comment section below about that, because that's what I would like to see. Let me see here. We have Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey for the women's title for the Raw Women's Championship. This feud between Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey has been, obviously Ronda Rousey is going to win the title. We have a lot to talk about Ronda Rousey this coming tomorrow on Unscripted, because a lot of talk about her being done with WWE and after WrestleMania has come out, even though we are going to debunk all that as well. But this feud between Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey hasn't made Ronda Rousey look good at all. It's like, she comes in, she talks how she likes, she comes in and compliments somebody, and then she opens her mouth and inserts her foot in the same sentence. It's like, oh, it's going to be great to face Sasha Banks, but I can't wait to show, she's going to be like the greatest accomplishment I have when I beat her at the Royal Rumble. And it's like, you're complimenting her, and then you're shitting all over her at the same time. And it's like, I didn't mean to say that. And it's like, it's just making Ronda Rousey sound stupid. Ronda Rousey in there is not going to be that stupid. But whoever's scripting her, if she's unscripted and saying all this stuff, it's really making Ronda Rousey look pretty bad. This one will probably be if I had to pick between this one and the other women's match, it's going to be a toss-up, because I think both of these women's matches are going to outclass most of the men's matches, plain and simple. Outside of maybe AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar, hopefully, and Finn Balor. The other matches, which would be The Bar and The Miz, Bar versus Shane McMahon and The Miz, and Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, as well as the Cruiserweight Championship match. I think this one is going to be a damn good match, and Sasha Banks will show you and hopefully remind everybody why she is as good as she is, and Ronda Rousey is just Ronda Rousey. What can you say? But, of course, Ronda Rousey's not losing the championship. She's taking that title into WrestleMania. Hopefully to take on just Becky Lynch, if they can figure out how to get her against Becky Lynch. But it's probably going to be a triple threat match. But Sasha Banks will fall to Ronda Rousey. Moving over to the blue brand, Asuka versus Becky Lynch. This one is going to anger a good portion of the community if it goes the way that I fear it's going to go, because Becky Lynch cannot lose by pinfall or submission. I'm hoping there is some kind of fuck finish where Asuka retains the title but loses the match by DQ or countout. Maybe we have these guys beating the hell out of each other, and I don't think anyone's pointed this out. Maybe they have beat the hell out of each other so much we get some kind of like suplex between these two or something through the announce table, and both women are out, and it ends up in no contest. Asuka keeps the championship, Becky Lynch is out, and then that would be like, well, Becky Lynch can't be in the Royal Rumble. There's some people out there saying that maybe Carmella feels slighted. Maybe Carmella thinks that she should be in that championship match against Asuka because she was in that triple threat match, even though she shouldn't have been, because she has the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. Why would you give somebody the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble? Be like, yeah, we're going to give you an opportunity to go to the Royal Rumble anyway to face off against the champion, the women's champion. It just makes no sense. And they're thinking that maybe she costs Becky, and then Becky goes to get revenge by taking out Carmella and getting into the Royal Rumble that way. WWE has got a lot to get to be able to make us decide who is going, to make us believe that Becky Lynch would be able to face Asuka and then be in the Women's Rumble match. But I'm going to say this one can either be A, a no contest, or B, Becky Lynch loses by disqualification, or it's going to be a no contest, or Asuka walks out because of some kind of fluky fuck finish of a DQ, a double count out, or something like that. But Asuka's going to walk out your women's champion of SmackDown still, because Becky Lynch has bigger fish to fry than a WrestleMania match with the women's championship of SmackDown. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. This one has been going on since before Summer's Survivor Series. The week before the go-home show to Survivor Series, AJ Styles lost the WWE Championship to a recently Daniel Bryan, who turned heel in that match. And we all were wondering, what is Daniel Bryan going to do? what is Daniel Bryan's heel turn going to be like? Because we all saw a few months beforehand, Dean Ambrose turned heel, or last of the month beforehand or so, Dean Ambrose turned heel, and we all were like, they finally got Dean Ambrose heel. And then they turned him from being a sick son of a bitch to just a laughing stock and one of the worst heels in WWE. Thank the almighty that Daniel Bryan probably has a little bit of creative say in what his character does, because he is quintessentially one of the best heels in the company next to Tommaso Ciampa. He is just promo after promo after promo, just out there killing it and just speaking from the heart and just lambasting the fans, lambasting his fellow superstars. He even screamed at Vince McMahon and blamed him and his generation, the baby boomers, for what's going on with this world nowadays. And as Brian Zane said on his Who Wore Better, wait a minute, is Daniel Bryan the actual heel? Because this guy is just speaking truth. Well, some of the best heels out there are the ones who are justified in what they're saying. They just say it with so much vigor and so much like hatred that you want to boo them. Daniel Bryan is in that justifiable heel category where everything he says is absolutely I'm going to say 95% true. He's probably making some of this shit up to boast of himself, but he's saying stuff that he knows for a fact is true, but he's saying it in such a way that he comes off as just a prick, and it's awesome. AJ Styles, I don't know what they're doing with him. They had him come out, I believe it was on the Christmas Day edition of SmackDown, and lay out Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon wanted to see the real AJ Styles. I want to see that fire in you. I want to see that ruthlessness in you. He nails him, and quite honestly, what has been different about AJ Styles? This real AJ Styles, other than just calling him the real AJ Styles, what has changed? He's about the same as he was before he decked Vince McMahon. So what are they doing with AJ? Honestly, I was hoping this would have been Mustafa Ali, because, quite honestly, we don't really watch the Royal Rumble for championship matches. The Royal Rumble sells itself on the Royal Rumble matches themselves. So, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. I was hoping we'd get away from this, because we did see them have AJ Styles had his rematch at TLC, and he lost clean. Yes, AJ Styles had to go into, a fatal four-way, and win that to get this opportunity, but I think it should have went to somebody else. Mustafa Ali, when he came from 205 Live, lost to Daniel Bryan, then in a tag team match beat Daniel Bryan, and usually, which this is a quote-unquote new era, in other eras, if you beat the champion, you get a title opportunity. It's always seen to happen. Not this time, and quite honestly, I think Mustafa Ali should have been in this position, but since it is AJ Styles, I'm hoping this is the last time we see this. AJ's not winning the championship. I don't feel Daniel Bryan's work as WWE champion, the evil heel Daniel Bryan, is done. Quite honestly, and this is the thing, when Daniel Bryan eventually loses that championship, where is he going to go from there? That has not been foreshadowed or any hint of what could happen if Daniel Bryan does lose the championship, so he's not losing that title till at least WrestleMania. And the way that we go out from there, not a clue. That leaves Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. No, this is not Demon Finn Balor. Anybody who thinks Demon Finn Balor is going to show up, you are out of your mind. Vince McMahon has come out and said from Dave Meltzer and others that Vince McMahon sees the Demon as a specialty for Finn Balor. If you bring the Demon out, then the Demon has to win. Vince McMahon wants Brock Lesnar to go into this UFC fight, if it's going to happen in March still, and have the Universal Championship, and he wants Brock Lesnar to take the title into WrestleMania, because to Vince McMahon, a Universal Championship match for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania is a big deal. In my opinion, it's not anymore. Having Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar at the SummerSlam pay-per-view last year killed any momentum for Brock Lesnar. If you wanted to have him take the title into WrestleMania 35 and drop it then, which one would have pissed a lot of people off, and it still pisses people off, and it just wouldn't work anymore. It would be a lot more if he would have beat Roman and continued to hold that title all the way through the rest of the year. We would have got him at Crown Jewel, we would have got him at Survivor Series, we would have got him at Rumble, we would have got him at WrestleMania. It's just, This match was originally supposed to be Braun Strowman, of course, but Braun Strowman was taken out of this 2 weeks ago, and the week before that, he kind of showed why he was taken out of this match. Braun Strowman is a novelty act. He is not a champion that you're going to put the title on and expect to have for a long run. Yes, he can win the Universal Championship, but he will lose it. Like, if he was in this match and he beat Brock Lesnar for the championship, he would hold the title till Fastlane or till the WrestleMania, lose it, and never see the title again. Look at the Big Show, Paul White. He won the WWF Championship at the end of 99, if I'm correct, at the end of 99. Lost it, well, he won it at Survivor Series 1999. I believe he lost it at December, the night after, was it the night after the December pay-per-view in 1999? Because I know Triple H had the title going into Royal Rumble 2000 because that's where he had that excellent match against, that hardcore match against Cactus Jack. So, yeah. He didn't hold it for more than a month. Or 2 months or whatever. He didn't hold it very long. Now, Braun Strowman, quite honestly, in my opinion, in talent-wise, mic skill-wise, and everything, compared to Big Show back, I'm comparing them from their talent at the time, at the same point of their careers. Because I believe that he was still the Giant. I would have taken the Giant or the Big Show as Paul White, or Big Show over Braun Strowman at the point of their careers where he's at. Because it's just, Paul White has way more talent and way more athleticism than Braun Strowman. The only thing Braun Strowman is good for is wrecking things, flipping things over. And quite honestly, that's just a novelty act and it's running thin. They had a chance at No Mercy in 2017, didn't pull the trigger. They had a chance to have him cash. He won Money in the Bank, which he did not need to do. Money in the Bank 2016 was won by Baron Corbin. Trashed. Lost to Jinder Mahal in 10 seconds thanks to him trying to go knock John Cena, who was on the apron. 2017, it's 2017, not 16. 2017's Money in the Bank, won by Baron Corbin. Lost in 10 seconds right before SummerSlam. 2018, Braun Strowman wins Money in the Bank, cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase mere hours before he turns heel with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, in which, if he did not cash in when he did, he's like, I'm going to do this at Hell in a Cell. Hands it to Baron Corbin, and he's no longer Mr. Money in the Bank. Or Monster in the Bank, whatever. And then he goes to, that pissed a lot of people off. He goes to Hell in a Cell, and he wasted, so 2 years in a row, the Money in the Bank briefcase has been wasted for the men. The women have had it the last 2 years, cashed in. But the man is starting to become terrible. But Braun Strowman turning heel killed his momentum, and Braun Strowman turning heel killed any chance of him being taken serious as a threat. Roman Reigns makes his announcement, we go to Crown Jewel, and then Braun Strowman gets screwed over and loses in 2 minutes. Why would anybody take that seriously? And Vince McMahon and WWE, the marketing team in WWE figured we got to keep, which would piss me off too if I was going to the Rumble or was being told that, we're going to get Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Oh, I'm going to skip this. I don't want to go to this. It's going to be another squash match. 2 weeks before the Rumble, we get Finn Balor put in his place. There are actually people who've been out there saying they'll be activating the WWE Network subscription just for this match. So why they waited until, because they made this decision after Crown Jewel that they don't want to have Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. So you went through all of November and all of December, had that shit of a show at TLC because Braun Strowman was injured, and all that shit that you put together, and you didn't even want to have Braun Strowman in this match. Instead of putting Finn Balor and building Finn Balor up, let's do it in a 2-week thing. Let's do it in 2 weeks and make him look strong. Another thing about this is the fact that Finn Balor got a lot of offense and a lot of his shtick on Brock Lesnar this past Monday. And I think that hurts this match. I honestly think it hurts this match. So we could have two things here. We could have a CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles type match where it is Brock Lesnar putting on a hell of a show and letting these guys make him feel like they can come so close to winning the championship and beating Brock Lesnar, or we can have a 2-minute squash match. I'm hoping for the former, not the latter. We'll have to wait and see, but Brock Lesnar's going to win this match. Finn Balor has absolutely no chance to win this match, but it depends on how he is shown in this match. If we get a Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, CM Punk type of match, it's going to be good, and it could do a lot for Finn Balor. Before we go to the Rumble matches, that means Rusev will go over Shinsuke Nakamura. Shane and The Miz are going to win the tag team titles. Ronda Rousey is going to beat Sasha Banks. Asuka is going to beat Becky Lynch, or we're going to have her walk out with the championship. Daniel Bryan over AJ Styles. Buddy Murphy retains his championship in the Fatal 4-Way. Brock Lesnar over Finn Balor. Now, for the Women's Championship, or the Women's Royal Rumble match, we're going to talk about, I'm going to just say, there are 5 people who I honestly think will win this, who have a chance to win. Number 1, Charlotte Flair. Number 2, Becky Lynch. I don't know how they do it, but these are your 2 front runners for me. If something else was not going to happen and you want to throw a real wrench in the place, Bayley could be number 3. Just throw it out there that she could have a chance to win this. Number 4 could be Natalya, even though it would make no sense. And number 5 would be Ember Moon. Ember Moon has not done really anything on the main roster since she's come up. And this could be something big for her to do, but I still think Charlotte Flair is going to win. If WWE wants to throw a wrench in his plan, Becky Lynch. If they want to throw a wrench into that, Bayley, Natalya, or Ember Moon. And quite honestly, my final 4 would be Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, and Ember Moon. Those would be my 4 right there. You have 2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown. And then the final 2, which a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of people want to do the Royal Rumble 94, where you had Lex Luger and Bret the Hitman Hart feet touch the ground both at the same time. I would not want to see that. I think I would roll my eyes and be like, oh, they're going to do that. I don't see it happening. Carmella, I don't see doing anything at number 30. I think she's going to be taken out real fast and easy. Over to the men's, I have 5 as well. Drew McIntyre is number 1. Honestly, I think Drew McIntyre is either going to win the Universal Championship at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, one of those 2 big events. Seth Rollins, if we want to go with Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, I could see that happening. Seth Rollins could make a great match for Brock Lesnar. Now, same with the women's match. If the women's Royal Rumble match is going to allow Becky Lynch to get in somehow, I'm going with AJ Styles. AJ Styles is not winning the WWE Championship. Maybe something happens and AJ Styles makes it in. And AJ Styles, or maybe AJ Styles talks truth into giving him his number 30, and we see AJ Styles at number 30. AJ Styles could win that match. Go to WrestleMania, pick Brock Lesnar, and we could have AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar 2, with AJ Styles being put over by beating Brock Lesnar. Number 4, I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy. I think it's time to give this guy something big in his career. I guess he has off the bucket list of him being on in a Hell in a Cell match. I'm pretty sure being in a championship match at WrestleMania via the Royal Rumble would be a big thing on his a big check mark on his list of things he would love to do before his career ends. And number 5, just because you're going to throw it out there, if he's in it still because of his quote-unquote injury, John Cena. WWE, I know Vince McMahon, before John Cena calls it an absolute career, Vince McMahon wants John Cena to headline WrestleMania one last time with a championship on the line, whether that's WWE or Universal, most likely WWE, in which John Cena breaks Ric Flair's bullshit record. But that is going to be what that is. Of course, John Cena WWE announced a fake injury for John Cena, in which he had an ankle injury. This, of course, was to supposedly write him out of the Royal Rumble, but with WWE and how they go, John Cena could. This is something else that scares the hell out of me, is the fact that John Cena is quote-unquote injured, and then we come out and boom, John Cena's in the Rumble. He's not supposed to be here. He has an injured ankle. And he wins the whole thing. That's something that scares the heck out of me, is the fact that they came out and was like, yeah, John Cena's injured. Why would they say John Cena's injured if he's like, They could do it. Yeah, they could do it because he's supposed to be starting the movie or started the movie last week, and they want to invite him out of the Royal Rumble. But it could also be that they say this injury so people don't think he's going to be there. He shows up still, and boom, he wins the Rumble. That's something that scares me. There are 10 men and 7 women's spots left open for each Rumble. Who do I think will enter the men's Rumble from NXT? Aleister Black, Cassius Ohno, and I'm not going to pick 10 people. There's not 10 people coming in NXT. There's going to be some people on Raw and SmackDown, or even 205 Live, or this would be a good one, but we'll talk about that in a second. And some legends too. But I'm going to say Adam Cole, Cassius Ohno, Aleister Black, Pete Dunne from NXT UK, because honestly, I think it's time for Pete Dunne to make his way to the Royal Rumble, and Trent Seven. Oh, Tyler Bate, not Trent Seven, Tyler Bate. For the women, I don't think I'm going to be able to think of 5, but Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and Candice LeRae. I think those are 3 right there that could possibly make it. As with Adam Cole, and at the time Andrade Cien Almas back then, they went straight back down to NXT. Aleister Black, if he's in the Royal Rumble, is up. If Shayna Baszler's in the Royal Rumble, she's up. A lot of people are saying the Velveteen Dream too. I can actually see him being in the men's Rumble as well. So it will be interesting to see what happens this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. But those are my predictions. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Hit the on Facebook, on Twitter at The Fonz. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFonz08. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Unscripted, where we have a lot to talk about, and there's more news coming in as I'm recording this right now, but we're going to save that for tomorrow. Until then, my name is The Fonz. You guys have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for Unscripted, tomorrow night for NXT TakeOver Phoenix Review, and then Sunday for the Royal Rumble. But I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good one.